so nervous for this video. This is the face of a person who has never read and knows nothing about the book Manacled. Today I'm going to be doing a reading vlog, and we're going to be reading this A03 fanfic together. Also, don't mind the band-aid on my finger. I have anxiety and pick my nails so much. Yeah, today we're going to be reading Manacled. I found a TikTok that showed how we can download A03 fanfics and read them on our Kindles, and that's honestly been the only reason I have not read this book, is I wanted to read it on my Kindle and not on my phone. So yeah, we're going to read this today. I know that the author of this work is actually going to be removing Manacled, I think January 1st of 2025, to traditionally publish the book, everything like that. And I really wanted to read it while it was still in its like fanfic form, and then that way I can go back and when it's traditionally published actually read the new book that she basically writes from this story. I'm very excited. I know nothing about this story. I know it is a Hermione and Draco fanfic, and I believe in this world Voldemort wins the war. That's all I know. I know nothing else. I am doing nothing tonight. I just got my period and all I want to do is lay on my couch and read. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do a little cleaning before I get into the reading. But yeah, I'm excited but nervous. I'm nervous because I don't know how long this book is gonna be. I'm also nervous because everyone who has ever read this book has said that this book has like fundamentally changed who they are as a person. And that scares the fuck out of me. Let's get into this. I'm terrified. So it is, you don't care what time it is. That doesn't affect this. Anyways, I think I'm officially going to start Manacled. I'm so nervous. I don't know how to feel, but I'm excited at the same time. We're gonna start it. Hello. So I was reading Manacled for a little bit today, but I wasn't able to like film when I was reading, and I was starting to have a lot of thoughts and opinions that I really wanted to talk about in this video. So I had to force myself to stop reading this book. It is that good. I am only on, oh, it doesn't have the page numbers because technically it's a PDF. I have 17 hours left of reading, 5% through the book. I'm on chapter 5. So it doesn't have page numbers, which is unfortunate, but I have so many opinions and like things that I want to talk about that I did write some of my theories down on my phone, but I was starting to have visceral reactions and like I couldn't sit down and talk to a camera about my opinions. So we're gonna do that now, and then we're just gonna fully only read this during my free time. I really want to only read this and like directly we're experiencing this together, because I have a feeling that this is going to be like, it's going to change my life, which I understand now why people say that about this book. So far, what I understand about the story, also, this video is going to have insane spoilers. If you have not read the book, don't watch this video if you don't want spoilers. If you don't care, keep watching, but I'm going to freely talk about all of my thoughts and opinions about the book itself. I don't know when it is traditionally published what the author is going to keep, what they're going to change. So this is full opinions of the Manacled fan fiction. Basically, in this world, pretty much every Harry Potter character that you can think of is dead after the war that happens in like the last 2 Harry Potter movies or whatever, and the Dark Lord wins the war. Harry Potter is dead. Again, literally every character, the whole Weasley family was dead, and in the chapters they talk about, they pretty much make like characters and make shows of these people who are dead by like hanging them in front of people. It's a very dark book. Like that's very depressing. However, for me, I don't know, like obviously I've watched the movies, but I'm not that connected to this world where I haven't like necessarily cared that they've died, if that makes sense. I understand that it's fan fiction and that it's a book, so I don't feel intense. There is one person that I genuinely was like, oh, they're dead, and we'll get to it. So the High Lord has basically like a right-hand man, and it's the High Reeve. And in the beginning of the book, they're talking about him, or they're talking about this person, and that they're very scary and they're very powerful. I immediately guessed that it was Draco. Obviously, going into this book, I knew that this was a Draco Hermione fanfic. I don't know if it's enemies to lovers, but I think that's what I'm going in with the mindset of it being. And that makes me nervous because I can't remember if it actually is that Draco is a good person or if he's not. Right now, Hermione just got to Draco's house. I'm like in the back of my head hoping that Draco's actually a good person, but I don't know if he is in this book. Anyways, that's the other thing with fanfics. Obviously, like the fanfic author can take all liberties and change the characters to be whoever they want them to be. So I don't know how much of like character traits that Draco has in the movies that he's gonna have in this. But the big thing is Hermione in the beginning of the book, she is put basically in, is it solidarity? I don't know what the word is. She's basically left alone to go insane by Umbridge, which I do remember her from the movies. She's like a miserable and she's left alone because with the hopes of having her go insane. From doing that, her magic basically started to put locks on specific memories and now no one can access those memories. And that's the whole thing that they're trying to understand. What is she protecting? And I have an idea of what it is, and I really hope that I'm right because it would be iconic if it is. That's kind of what's going on in the book so far. I did notice it feels very Handmaid's Tale-y, 100%. I think the author took directly from the Handmaid's Tale. They have all of the, I don't even remember if the girls are technically called prisoners or just all of the women in this program that they have to have because they have to do a repopulation program because they killed everyone in the war, and they're forcing all of these girls to basically be what they were in the Handmaid's Tale. They wear the exact same outfits, the red outfits with the little like cap. I caught that right away. And then there's a scene, these next two scenes I read today, and I couldn't film my reaction, but this is immediately why I need to read this book and like directly talk to someone about this. So in one of the scenes, there's a character named Angelina. I don't remember this character. I don't know if this is like a new character or if this is someone from the Harry Potter universe. I'm so sorry if you're a huge Harry Potter fan watching this video. You're probably like yelling at your screen. I don't know a lot about the world. They are all together, they being like all of the girls that are going to be basically slaves to the men, the wizards, to repopulate their society. They are all together and they are about to leave to be sent to their new houses. And Angelina is crying and apologizing to Hermione, saying along the lines, "I'm sorry, we should have listened to you." And then they all leave and go to their new homes with the like new head of households that they have. And I'm curious if that has to do with one of the memories that Hermione is protecting. And then the other memory is in the book, Hermione is sleeping and she's having a nightmare. Ginny in the nightmare, she's crying. Ginny is the one character who I was surprised was dead. I don't know why, but when I read that, I was like, oh, right. So Ginny is dead and Hermione is having a nightmare where Ginny is in the nightmare, but I am curious. I'm curious if Ginny and Harry had a baby and if that's one of the secrets that Hermione is keeping. Now, like I said, I don't know how many liberties this author took with changing things in the story to match what happened in Harry Potter, or literally they're just keeping character names and then changing the entire plot. But those are my opinions so far. I know I don't really have many opinions, but my mind is blown right now. It is so good so far. It's Friday night, so I have all weekend to just sit, hang out, and read, but unfortunately I do need to clean my apartment, so I can't just sit down and binge read this right now, but I'm definitely going to binge read tonight. I will come back when I have more opinions and some live reactions of this book. I'm loving this so far, and I'm probably less than 50 pages into the book, which is crazy. Also, didn't realize this book is 1,000 pages. Honestly, fanfic authors are the backbone of our society. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna go clean. So I am right now 14% way through the book, and I thought I would give some more updates about how I'm feeling, how I think the book is gonna go. We figured out that the manacles, have Hermione's power in them, so she can't basically try and break them because it is powered by her power, so anything that she does, it basically equates it out in the opposite force, basically. And the New Year's Eve party happened. We found out that Astoria is cheating on Malfoy, which is like not Obviously she is. I don't know. They have like a weird marriage. Also, one of the guests ran up to Hermione and like found her in the room, said, quote, "You don't remember me, don't you?" And then Malfoy showed up, because Malfoy has a direct connection to Hermione because of blood magic, so he basically always knows when something important is happening to her. He basically can like zone into her head. I don't know why that guy or girl, I don't know the character, I forget the name. I don't know why they know Hermione, but they do. She does not remember them. So I'm curious if they also are like a sympathizer, or if they also were a rebel, but because the rebels technically lost, they decided not to be like a double agent. I'm not sure where that's gonna go. Right now, Hermione is exploring the manor and Draco is walking through it with her. I really so deeply hope that Draco is not a bad person in this book, but it's making me nervous because he still is. And I know I'm only 14% through the book. I'm not that far into it, but I really want him to be a good person, and I really want it to be her and him working together against evil, and I'm nervous that that's not what the book is gonna be. Yeah, it's right now Saturday. I originally had plans to film other videos, but honestly I don't want to get ready, so the only plans I have is I'm gonna get some food and go to a brewery with friends at like 6. So I have like 5 hours open to do anything. And I already took a nap today. Don't know what's wrong with me. I've been sleeping like 12 hours a night and taking 2-hour naps during the day, but is what it is. Maybe it's seasonal depression. Maybe my kidneys are finally giving out. We'll never know. It has been multiple hours. I just got ready to go out to the brewery tonight, but I wanted to give a little update about how I'm feeling about the book. Now, obviously, this whole time I've been thinking that this book is going to be a sort of enemies to lovers story. I've been honestly, I don't want to say giving grace because that's like not how I'm feeling, but I've just been ignoring low-key the way how Draco has been shitty. A lot has happened since the last update. Hermione is now pregnant, so she is kind of protected because she no longer is being while being in the program, and she also like now isn't being threatened because it took her a while to get pregnant. She was being threatened with being like given off to Lucius and someone else. Someone else tried to her. I have to be like very careful with what I say. This book is very dark and I don't know what would trigger anything for this video, so just being very careful when I talk about it. She's now pregnant and she just had a memory. I'm gonna scroll back so that I can literal quote the exact part of the memory. She's been having memories and dreams on and off that are, you know, are triggering back to things that happened during the war. Supposedly she set off like a bomb or something and killed a lot of Death Eaters, and my theory is that Draco is being mean to her because he actually either has a past with her or he actually really likes her. But a big thing that they do in this book is, I'm not gonna know what the spell is called, but it is basically the spell where they read someone's mind. Draco does it to Hermione all the time, and then I was gonna say Snape, Voldemort does it to Draco and also does it to Hermione. So I think he is in a weird way protecting her with not allowing her to grow close to him and being a dick to her. Like, I don't know. The reason I say this, I've been thinking about this before I read this little quote that I'm about to say, but she just had a flashback, and in the end of the flashback, the following little paragraph is said. Finally, Malfoy was standing over her, his face white, his eyes glittering with rage. "I have warned you. If something happens to you, I will personally raise the entire order. That isn't a threat, it is a promise. Consider your survival as much as a necessity to the survival of the resistance as Potters. If you die, I will kill every last one of them." I think they were in a relationship. I think her and Draco have a past, and that's part of the memories that are hidden that she doesn't know about. So that is my theory. I'm right now on like the first flashback chapter. Also, the illustrations for this fan fiction are so beautiful. I'm actually so mad that it's taken me this long to read this book. I love being a mood reader. I'm reading this book at the perfect time. I love it so far. But I'm on the first flashback 3 years earlier. I wish, honestly, that I could just sit down and read tonight, but when I get back, I'm just going to sit and read a lot. I don't know. I'm really liking it, and I hope that it continues out the way that I think it's gonna play in my mind, because if it doesn't, I'm gonna be really sad. But yeah, those are my theories. I will update you when I have some more.
I knew it. He wants a full pardon, and he wants you, now and after the war. Hermione stood stunned. If Moody had just cursed her, she couldn't have been more astonished. Severus thinks the offer is legitimate, says Malfoy has had some kind of fascination with you in school. There's nothing to indicate the offer was made under orders. This man has loved her.
Hi everyone, McLaren won the Constructors Champion. I'm having a good day. I went to go watch the F1 race at a brewery this morning, and it was really fun. They had free breakfast for us. It was great. Originally, I was gonna just jump into doing a ton of stuff with my day, but Stella is very, very needy right now, and she wants to hang out with me. She's staring at me. I think she's upset that I'm talking to a camera instead of cuddling her. She was mad that I left her this morning. So I think I'm actually going to sit down and read for a little bit. I read a little bit before I went to bed last night. I'm right now reading through all of the flashbacks. She basically was given to Draco in exchange for him to become a double spy. The only thing that he wanted was her, which is insane. I think he's been in love with her this entire time, and I think that they had a secret relationship. Yeah, right now I am 29% through the book. I am on, it's not a chapter, but flashback 4. So I'm gonna read for a little bit this morning, maybe have some lunch. I'll see what updates I have. It is crazy how long this book is. Usually I can read a book or two. My Kindle's pretty old, to be fair, but usually I can read a book or two before I need to recharge my Kindle because it's dying. But my Kindle is dying because this book is so long. Also, he's right now training her how to shield her memories, and the last time they met they kissed, but he's training her. So I don't know, I think he's a good person, but he has to act like he's not because of Voldemort, and he's trying to protect her without her realizing. I may just be giving this man a ton of props and he doesn't deserve it, but that's what I'm thinking. You guys, I don't have words. This book is so good. I'm supposed to edit a video today, and I do not want to stop reading. I'm right now on the 8th flashback, or I'm on flashback 9, and each flashback is pretty much a new month. So what is happening is Draco and Hermione. Oh my god. That was the most... Oh, this is the best flavor. Each month, Draco and Hermione meet, and at first he was training her basically to put up mental wards to protect her in the future, and then he started training her for actual battle because she's always in the hospital, she's always healing people, she never gets to basically train for battle. They're slowly starting, I don't want to say to a romantic connection, but I think they're slowly becoming friends. Draco gave Hermione basically intel that provided is it the Order is the good guys, I think. But basically provided her intel that allowed them to do an attack that was really good for them, but it was really bad for Malfoy in the end, and he was cursed by Voldemort because of it. She found out about it, and she ended up trying to heal him, but she felt so guilty because he gave up intel that was good for her, but it was bad for him in the end. And I don't know, I really want them to kiss. I want them to fall in love, but it's sad because right now I've only been reading flashbacks, so I'm reading this really wholesome, it's not wholesome, it's still kind of fucked, but it's good, it's sweet. He's helping her, he's being a double agent, whatever, but I realize I'm gonna have to go back to present day, and she's being tortured in the present day. I don't know how many more flashbacks there are. I'm right now 35% through the book. I honestly might not do anything else today but read. I'm right now making taquitos for lunch, so I'm gonna sit and read while the oven heats up. Stella is right now trying to lick the lotion off of my legs. Anyways, it is Sunday night still. Hey, another update from Sunday. I've been literally just absolutely eating this book up. I need you to understand, if you've never read this book and you don't care about Harry Potter, girl, me too. You need to read this book. I think this is one of the best fan fictions, if not the best fanfic that I've ever read. Also, I will say, while I'm reading this, I'm not picturing like the movie character Hermione and Draco. I am picturing the fan edits. And I don't really picture things when I'm reading, but that is what I am picturing as I'm reading it. I'm right now 43% through the way. Draco got these like runes because of what happened with the one attack that the Order did. Hermione's been slowly healing the runes, but I just got to the part where she did the procedure to stitch them up, and right now they are drunk, hanging out, and I think they're gonna kiss. I'm so excited. I am just going to sit and read. I need to make dinner in a little bit, but honestly, I'm not gonna do anything else tonight but read. I've fallen behind on my Vlogmas/Bookmas videos. I've not answered anybody's text today. I'm living my life, living la vida loca. Let's get back into it. Oh my God. If you don't want me to kiss you, you should say so now. Girl! Can you tell it's been like literal ages since I've felt the presence of another human being? I have so many updates and feelings about the story. First off, what I thought was going to happen did happen. Right now, Ginny is confessing to Hermione. She's crying, she's really distraught because she's pregnant, which is exactly what I guessed was going to happen in the beginning of the book. However, a lot of the flashbacks so far has been Hermione meeting Draco in this shack, which is kind of like their safe space area that they always meet. Draco is being a double agent, like a double spy, giving her information. At the same time, he's also training her so that she can be safe. The thing is they've slowly been inching towards, I don't even want to say a relationship, but like a friendship or like a mutual understanding. Like they both know that they're just pawns in this war. And it just seems like any time that Hermione has made like a step forward, Draco will fall for it. And then in the next chapter, he's closed off again, and it's been that, like, just repeated. He had to make an unbreakable vow so that he could get the Order to trust him, because Hermione basically said, like, they're going to rat you out and you're gonna die. They're gonna give me, I think it was like a month heads up so that she could say goodbye to him, but then after that, like, he's gonna get killed. And something happened in the relationship, so now they've kind of crossed this line together, but right now they're just like both kind of ignoring each other, and it's getting so annoying. Like, I just want him to like tell her how he feels real. He did have one confession to her where I felt like we really saw who he was, but we haven't seen it since then. I literally was going to read one singular chapter on my break at work today, and I got halfway through the chapter and it is when Ginny said that she's pregnant to Hermione. So I stopped reading really quick. Literally, this is the chapter. So going good. I'm right now 55% through the book. I don't know at what point do like the flashbacks stop and we go back to like the real timeline that we're supposed to be in, but I'm very nervous to go back because I can't remember if like the flashback started because she started remembering everything. Like I don't know what we're going to jump back into. If she's going to all of a sudden like look at Draco different because she remembered all of this, I don't really know what's gonna happen.
You know what I think is the most heartbreaking part about this book is obviously Hermione is having to make all of these sacrifices. Like she chose to work with Draco and she did it for the Order, but she can't share with anyone that she is working with him. Like she's talked about how the Order thinks that they're winning and that things are turning around, but really any good thing that is happening to them is because Draco gave them the information for them to like win that fight or whatever it is. And so it's heartbreaking because she can see that they're not winning. Like, they're doing really bad, but everyone else thinks that, like, luck is on their side and that things are turning around. Ginny is right now talking to Hermione about the baby because she's pregnant, which I guessed because of one of the earlier flashbacks that happened. I don't know. I didn't think it would actually happen, I guess. I'm kind of surprised it did because it was pretty easy to tell. But she won't get rid of the kid because Harry, like, would never forgive her because it means that Ginny doesn't trust that they'll be able to win, which is like a dumb reason anyways, to keep the kid, but like, whatever. I don't know. You guys, is Draco playing her? Is he actually not like a double agent, but he's using the order? I don't know what's going on anymore.
It has been a while since I have updated the reading vlog, since I've talked to the reading vlog. So we're gonna do that today. I need to sneeze. So much has happened in the book. Honestly, I don't even remember when my last update of the book is. The Battle of Hogwarts officially happened. I have to be honest, I don't really like Harry in this book. He's really annoying. Today while I was reading, there was a lot of really cute yearning moments. I have so many highlighted quotes in this story from Draco and Hermione and just them talking to each other. They have such a beautiful, like, it's low-key kind of toxic, and at times I was so confused and didn't understand them, but they have just such a beautiful connection. Battle of Hogwarts just happened and Draco put himself on the line and basically showed the Death Eaters that he is a traitor because Hermione wanted to get Ginny. I'm starting to like remember the different flashbacks from the beginning of the story. So like I already know what happens and which characters die, but like I'm not ready for it to happen. I'm right now on the last flashback chapter before it goes back to being like just the regular timeline that we're in, and I'm really nervous. You guys, I already want to reread this book and just experience it. I think the second time reading it is going to be so much better because I already know everything, so I can go into it with like a different lens. I want to do a reread like immediately. I can't believe it's taken me this long to read this book. Right now, Hermione is going to try and blow up the Sussex lab thing because she's trying to protect Draco. Draco basically said, like, I'm going to die, but you said that you would go away from the war. Also, that's like this whole thing. His character arc, he literally just wants to protect Hermione. He wants her away from the war. He knows that he can't join her because he has the dark mark and he has like too many ties to the war, but he wants her away from the war. Literally, there were so many times where she would end up being in the middle of a battle and he would be so upset with her. Not because he's upset with her, but he's upset at the idea that she could have been hurt. And like, I know the bar is in hell, but I loved it. That's what chapter I'm on right now. I really want to just try and read the rest of this tonight. I do want to edit tonight, but I might just read and finish this. It's so good, and I'm so glad that I chose to read this book. If you've not read this and you've watched this far into the video, sorry for the spoilers, but I would recommend picking this book up. I'm also so excited to see what the author does when she traditionally publishes it and how the story is going to change. The second that book comes out, I'm buying it. Literally just hopped out of the shower. I'm ignoring all of my responsibilities and we're going straight into reading. Don't mind my soaking wet hair. I'm in my pajamas. Let's read this chapter. I'm so scared. There's still like quite a bit of the book left, so I don't know how this is gonna wrap up. I also don't know if there's like a second book to the series. I kind of hope there is. I really like this series. I need to go get my glasses. Now I can see better. The Dementors, whatever how you say them, are right now going after Hermione, and she's thinking back to like things that Draco said. I'm going to take care of you. I'm not gonna let anyone hurt you. You don't have to be lonely because you're mine. It wasn't happy. She wasn't sure what it was, but it was hers. A promise Draco had made to her. She had to get back to him. He was hers. She had earned him. She'd promised she'd be waiting for him. She couldn't die. She couldn't leave him behind. He'd crawl through hell to get her back. I don't fully understand why Umbridge did the like silence curse when she put Hermione in the like jail cell by herself. I don't know if it was to make Hermione go insane or if Umbridge is working with Draco. I'm 75% through the book, so we still have quite a bit to go, and there's only 5 minutes left of this throwback chapter. I really want to see Draco's POV so badly. I want to see his POV. Okay, period. So before she gets put in the little jail cell, she basically worked through her mind because she wanted to hide all of the memories of Draco and Ginny and all of that. And so the I don't know how to say it, but where she like organizes her memories and things, she basically hid Draco all the way in the back and then destroyed her filing cabinet in her head. And then when the like manacles are on her, it suppresses so she can't reorganize her thoughts. So he is hidden, which is why he was never able to find their memories whenever he was looking through her own memories. I love this book so much. Oh my god. Ginny's not dead. She's remembering and Draco's now in the room with her and Ginny's not dead. Listen, I knew that Ginny was going to be pregnant. I don't know. I just felt like she was going to be pregnant, but I thought it was going to be Harry Potter's kid was out in the world, but Ginny's alive. Oh my god. Voldemort said you killed her. You told me you killed her. Ginny's alive. He met her eyes. She was pregnant, remember? Her son was born on October 20th, 2003. I'm told he was an exceptionally difficult newborn. She named him James Sirius Potter. You're his godmother. I know he's technically evil, but I love this man. He's so sweet. He's a year and a half now. You're going to meet him soon. They're waiting for you. You promised Potter you'd take care of them. You have to hold on and get better so you can go. Because in the beginning of the book, or like not in the beginning of the book, during like the flashbacks, Hermione does end up going to Malfoy Manor. So the house elves know that she was there, as well as all of the portraits knew that she was there. So I'm surprised. Like, I don't know when Astoria comes into the picture and becomes Draco's wife. I don't remember. It's probably said in the beginning of the book. I'm surprised that they never said anything to her. Like, I'm surprised that this secret was hidden so well, unless Draco did some sort of like mind magic. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna read for a little bit and then come back to you when I have more updates and when more stuff happens, but I just want to enjoy this and read because I'm loving this. Oh my god. This is the face of a girl who just finished Manacled. I feel like words cannot do this book justice. I can't. I finished the book today. I did fall asleep while I was reading it last night, and literally I went to take a 15-minute nap. Hey, woke up 4 hours later, but I finished Manacled today, and 100% I understand why people say finishing this book makes you feel like a different person. Like, I'm not the same person I was before reading this story. Genuinely, I think the most genius work of fanfic I've ever read. It is the best fanfiction I have ever read. I think even if you are not a Harry Potter fan, that you should read this story. I urge you to, if you haven't read this story and you somehow are at the end of this video, download it from A03 before she takes it off to traditionally publish it. I'm so excited to see the changes that she makes when she does traditionally publish it, but I do think like the full experience of reading it as a Harry Potter fanfic was amazing. I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan. I've said that multiple times in this video, but like I think liked the book better because I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan. Like, obviously I knew the characters and somewhat of like relationships between them. I kind of just like read it as if it was a fantasy story, and it is genuinely one of the most genius, well thought out books. One of my favorite things was when in like the beginning of the story, Hermione has, obviously the memories are all hidden and protected and we don't know what the memories are, and there are certain flashbacks that happen, and then when you're going back and you're reading the experience that she had, you'll stumble upon those scenes and then you'll remember the quotes and you'll be like, oh, this is that memory. And I just thought it was so well done. The ending was amazing. It felt complete. Like yesterday when I was getting to the end of the book, I was like, I don't want this like story to end. I don't want this world to end. I don't know if there's a second book that the author did, but it felt so well executed and well rounded out. I absolutely love Draco in this story. Also, I wasn't picturing like Draco and Hermione. I was picturing like the character, like the fanfic people in my head, which doesn't really make sense, but honestly the way that my brain visualizes books doesn't make sense half of the time anyway. I was picturing them, but then at the same time I was also picturing Tom Blythe as President Snow, as Draco. Yeah, that's kind of like what was going through my mind. Also, I have to say, I absolutely loved Topsy at the end of the story. There is a scene where basically in the end, like 20% of the book, they're trying to figure out how Draco can escape with Hermione, and Draco's pretty much like accepted the fact that he's gonna die, but he wants Hermione and the baby to be safe. And Draco sends Topsy, one of the house elves, off to go get Ginny because she's still alive. He wants the elf to get Ginny so that Ginny can come and rescue Hermione, and then they're gonna leave Draco behind. And Topsy is like, absolutely not. You said that I would be with you to the end. And Topsy just starts crying, and Draco just poofs, apparates or whatever, Topsy to Ginny. And then obviously at the end they all reunite, and Topsy is like crying, but she like hits him and she's like upset with him. I absolutely love that character so much. You guys, I feel so connected to this story, and I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, but I understand why people love this book so much. This author did God's work. Oh my God. But yeah, again, if you've not read this book, please read it. It is so worth it. It's literally like 950 pages. I just finished it today and I want to reread it. I also think that this is going to be a book that when you reread it, it's going to get better and better, because obviously like you know what happens after you've read it the first time. So going into that like first bit that's very hard and dark to read is going to be almost even better. Like I kind of knew what was happening, but it was better than I ever imagined. So yeah, I read Manacled and I loved it. And this is just like genuinely like fanfic writers and TikTok editors are the backbones of our society, and I need you people to recognize it. I don't have words. That was all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading vlog, and if you are new to my channel, if you're not already subscribed, make sure to check out some of my other videos and subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. Yeah, if there are any other like insanely iconic fanfics that I should read, let me know. I will see you in my next video, and until then,